The mold of man is a huge cluster of emanations in the great band of organic life. He said that it was like a gigantic die that stamps out human beings endlessly, as if they were coming to it on a mass production conveyor belt. Don Juan said that in his opinion, to fall on our knees in the presence of the mold of man reeks of arrogance and human self-centeredness. Anyone who sees the mold of man automatically assumes that it is God. He said that I had to go beyond the mold, a stopover that brought temporary peace and serenity to those who journey into the unknown, but that it was sterile. I had an uncontainable surge of energy and ran down the street to the outskirts of town. I came to a bridge, and right there I saw the mold of man as a resplendent, warm, amber light. I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that I had come face to face with God, the source of everything, and I knew that God loved me. God was love and forgiveness. I had the sensation of something pulling me away, and before I disappeared from its presence, I shouted a promise to the mold of man, but a great force whisked me away before I could finish stating what I meant. There are two ways of seeing the mold of man. You can see it as a man, or you can see it as a light. That depends on the shift of the assemblage point. If the shift is lateral, the mold is a human being. If the shift is in the midsection of man's band, the mold is a light. I heard you shouting inanities to the mold of man when I got to the bridge, he said with a most malicious smile. I told him that I had felt like a worthless servant worshipping a worthless master, and yet I was moved out of sheer affection to promise undying love. He found it all hilarious and laughed until he was choking. The promise of a worthless servant to a worthless master is worthless, he said, and choked again with laughter. I didn't feel like defending my position. My affection for the mold of man was offered freely, without thought of recompense. It didn't matter to me that my promise was worthless. The mold of man had no power to protect me or spare me, yet I loved it with a passion that knew no limits. I would have gladly remained the servant of the mold of man, not for what it could give me, for it has nothing to give, but for the sheer affection I felt for it. Don Juan made fun of me. He called me pious and careless and said I would make a great priest. Now I could even pass for a spiritual leader who had had a chance seeing of God. And the man, he asked. You can't forget that God is a male. Very cozy, eh? God is a male. What a relief.